Good morning and welcome to Mo Knows featuring me, Monica Mo Justice. Okay, I think everything's set the way I need it to be set. I'm gonna see the buffering, but it's all right. So, I see you folks never really get enough of all the stuff that you do. Oh, let me see. Somebody sent me something last night. And I meant to come in here. See, I don't even be checking for y'all that hard. Um, Let me speak on the Mi- going into Michi's room. Now, y'all will know better than I do. But Michi had to time out or delete somebody in her chat the other night. I have to finish listening to the video because I went back to the beginning of the video and I was listening to it earlier this morning. And she sent a comment to ask me if I had removed any comments. I don't remove my comments. I don't go back in videos and scrub them because I'm impeccable with my word. If I was there and I said something, I want it to be known I said it. And that's probably what I felt at that moment when I did that. So, mm, all right. So, the answer, so I didn't do that. But if all the messages are gone, if all I don't remember if I spoke in the chat after she removed some of the comments. I don't remember because I was driving. And to be quite honest, I was driving trying to get my little behind home so I could get some more sleep. I'm not even going to hold you. Um, yeah, I'm not even going to hold you. The other question based on somebody sent me a text message, no, an email or message. I got a message telling me that people were playing my stuff on the channel. Old stuff again. La 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 la. Go strike the page. I'm gonna tell y'all this for the last time. Things that have been remixed. That's just what it is. Stuff that's been remixed. If I came to you in 2018 and I gave you a story about me and I'm 6 years later and I'm in a different place. It's called growth. And the issue that I see on this internet with the people that I'm currently have as KYA, know your audience, they don't believe in growth. They just believe in antagonizing the person and throwing their past in their face. Their past is all that ever matters. And I don't see it like that. But you know why some of these people, good morning, Rose, go, why some of these people live the way they live is because, and I want y'all to really hear me. No, I'm not good, but I'll be good. So these people want to live in their past, period. Because their past was probably the better part of their life. And I came to this reality this morning after having sat down and spoke to my sisters. I had to have a I felt like, you ever watched the movie um oh, this guy said it to me last year. He was like, you remind me of the movie, the one with oh God, it's got LL Cool J in it, so he ain't been in too many movies. Ooh, ooh, what's the name of that movie? The movie something Eva. Yesterday I was at work and the person told me, well, yesterday I went to the doctor and I had a checkup, from my car injury. So they told me when I don't remember something anymore to really try not to look it up, to really remember it. Um, Saving me from Eva, something Eva. Anyway, deliver me from Eva. Go Momo, go Momo. Deliver me from Eva. But you know what? Soul Food would have been a good movie too. But there was that sister conversation. Yeah, I got it first. I got it first though. Um, there was this. Yeah, so because I'm going through. It's that time when I do analysis or whatever. It's a checkup. Oh, I forgot. You asked me to do that. So anyway, I had a scheduled event with my sisters, and I was sitting down talking to them, and it's amazing the damage you bitches on this internet try to do. So I had one sister send me all of these communications that been coming to her from y'all on here harassing my sisters. They sent me some videos that was sent to them. So knock knock to all y'all out here, you doxing community, right? I'm the leader in my quad. Period. End of story. So y'all do what y'all do. Um, I had to explain some of this crap around here to them, but nevertheless, y'all really the levels of the levels of harassment that y'all go to is far it's far reaching. It's just far reaching. It can have you just angry. But nevertheless, it is what women do. When you listen to a guy tell you about breaking up with a woman and then he cannot get rid of her, that's what these people do on this internet. Once you no longer want to vibe with them in this social space, they can't handle rejection. And Karen's going to say that she dubbed that because again, everybody wants to own something. So I'm gonna let it have it because if you say something for your own, come to your own conclusion. Because I've had this happen to me also. I've come to think, but let me just tell. I've come to my own conclusions on stuff. They're my opinions. I don't walk around with anybody else's tongue in my mouth or thoughts in my head. And the thing that I hate the most about people out here is that it's the obvious. It, this is why Myron's name is so important, the obvious truth, right? Doesn't matter if it's the truth. It doesn't matter if it's his truth. The fact of the matter is, what is the obvious truth? You cannot, LTG, make a video saying Monica has been influenced by Karen unless you are still acquiescing to the fact that Monica is the shit.com. I don't know why you can't see that you be paying homage to me while you be trying to diss me. It is ridiculous. That's the obvious truth. If you come before people and now say Monica's batshit crazy because she's been hanging around Karen, you are absolutely saying Monica was the shit and it got corrupted by Karen. That is what you are saying in essence. Bitch, do you not understand the English language? And I only heard that because I watched Karen. I refuse. And hear me out, because Myron does this little slick shit he does. He doesn't tell you who the video is that you're going to do. He gives a caption, sends you a link, you click on it, you might get sucker fucked into watching something. Yeah, I said sucker fucked. Into watching something before you. So I have to look at his things clearly. I have to pull the links now and go incognito because I don't want these bitches in my in my thing. Good morning, Miss Natural Orleans. So it's annoying to me. It's just annoying to me. So I wake up some days and I just be annoyed with this internet. Good morning, Michi. I just be annoyed with this stuff. It's annoying. And that's it. So I had a conversation with my sisters and I had to explain some stuff and they sent me some videos that you guys sent them, links to videos that you guys sent them. And I forwarded what you mean, who is this you speak of? Did it buffer? I hate my videos lately because of the buffering. So I sent the videos to T for T to watch them. Because of course, when T watches them, she's gonna critique them on another level because she hates all you motherfuckers. So we just gonna see what they come out to. But it's stories. My sister gave me a lowdown of what she saw. And I'm going to take it from there. And I'm going to figure out what's the right solution. But I did speak to them and we were talking about a lot of things. And I was talking about my personal safety fucking around with you people around here. And how I feel vulnerable to certain things. I don't know these people either. I never, when people be talking about who's the Kanika community or whatever, I don't know that bitch. I don't know her to be here when there was a Kanika, like when we was looking at the Kanika case. And I know, I don't need anybody to validate me. I was here. So let there be no misunderstanding about it. I was here. I was not a content creator. I was trying to destroy content creators who was pumping BS about women. Because there was a strategic disrespect to women out here. But there was a cohort of these fake Christian women that were running around in this sector who were doing what fake Christians do. Shante, good morning. They were doing what fake Christians do. And that is going in the pulpit on Sunday and coming out gossiping and destroying people's characters. Those are people that go into church on Sunday morning and they're looking around. You see what Mary Bell has on? Did you see what Mary Mabel is wearing? Did you see this? Did you see that? Did you like, ooh, girl, so-and-so talked to the pastor. I think he's sweet on her. Ooh, I was at the deacon board and the deaconess, and they was all talking. It's a whole big gossip fest. That's what this thing is up here. You got a whole bunch of women, right? Because this is a woman-dominated thing. And then you have a whole bunch of feminine energy from the males doing the exact same thing. So it's mind-boggling to me that people got this much time on their hands. I answered something yesterday, and I'm standing on it because it's what I heard. See, I can't speak on what somebody else said. I'm going to repeat what I said the other day so that it's very clear. I said, when a man loves a woman, I was just about to sing, but I'm not going to do that. He give up his very last to make sure that everything's good for her, right? I do not understand why any married man would be infatuated with and in the room of a content creator in the wee hours of the morning while at work, prominently calling in, which, at work you're distracted, to discuss and engage with a woman other than his wife. That's what I said, and I stand 10 toes down on that. Okay? So now all parties get upset. You got one woman threatening lawsuits around here because it's making her look like she's whatever. I don't know why it's making her look like anything, because I threw no type of shade towards her at all. I was talking about the actions of the man and the man alone. I didn't say she was accepting advances, that he was making advances. I just said these words. It's inappropriate. Okay? All right. So when all the denials came out and I got on the panel of that woman, and that man came in cussing and wanting to know, what the fuck am I doing there? I was taken back. Because you're defending property. Like, let's just go legal. He came in there defending property because at the end of the day, they want me to not think that there's a relationship between the content creator and that married man. And I believe there's no relationship there, no sexual undertones. However, there is something that made a man try to protect property, and property was the platform. So I let it ride out. Girlie came up there. I think, right, her husband was cussing me out. She came up there to speak on another topic. I heard you was talking about me earlier. And she was able to interrupt the thing to do that. Thank God my son called, because I was like, oop, I could go. Other calls I would have passed by. My son can't pass that by. So I took a bye. There is a creator. He let me stage right, because I was already preparing my shit for what I was going to say to her. But it doesn't make sense. That's what the problem is. So you could come up here, Gopey bitch. Miss Burpa. You could come up here and burp your way out of nothing. I come back and I say, you know what? there might be some merit in what Karen said about that platform. So I come and just deduce that, hey, that platform may be owned by her, since her husband was protecting the property, which is the channel. What the fuck are you doing up here? What authority did he have to ask me what the fuck I was doing up there? And why didn't the content creator say to him, this is my platform, I asked her to be up here? Because that's her shit, not his shit. So the theory may turn out to be wrong, but the actions align with the allegations. And since we're all allegation having ass people up in here, it's not far-fetched for me to reach those conclusions. Now, little do you know, I haven't spoken to Karen in a couple of days, almost maybe a week. So because I give you an analysis of bullshit, this is what I did. When I joined the girls group, that's what I did. I broke down the impossibilities. That's why it don't make sense, stupid, dumbass woman. Now, you could pee on somebody else's channel and tell them it's YouTube, but you won't be on me. So something over there don't smell right. Now, I'm not going to spend hours on my platform trying to figure it out. If your husband would have never assaulted me over there, I'd have never had an allegation that was that far stretched. Because at the end of the day, all I was telling your dumb ass was to watch out. Because the same way you got that dumb man with him, trying to get to Louisiana Purchase on the dime of Miko, paid and funded by Miko. You couldn't even get your own man to you. Y'all had to you and your husband collectively used another woman to get to your relationship while you still had a man in your home, a husband at that. You still had a husband when you was looking at this man. And then I heard the most pathetic thing come out your mouth when you got with this man. That's your new husband. So for all those doing analysis, these are the facts. When she got the new husband, when she got rid of one husband and she moved the other one in her bed, right? Because she was part of the church, right? Remember I started off talking about these hypocrites in the church and how they come in talking about something. When the husband left by police, because the police escorted him out, that's what we saw as video footage, right? She had him on the lawn. The police was telling him he cannot enter the property anymore. He was standing there with his bare coat on and whatever. She said, I must get married again. And this is not a direct quote. This is the essence of what she said. Because I cannot engage in fornication. Man, Mo, I was like, so we just gonna marry people because you cannot engage in fornication. So when Myron's out here telling a story about her, because Monica's over here telling you the husband in the wee hours of the morning is in a channel checking out some chick, that he's going to say he's not checking her out, but whatever. The wife is somewhere. What y'all said she was doing? Entertaining somebody that likes her boobs. That don't sound like a happily married couple to me, unless they're engaging in the shit that they was trying to tell Joy that she was in, which is an open relationship. Are y'all practicing that? Because I know how it is to get a social security number, because a lot of people marry people for their status so they could get in countries and stuff and do stuff. Maybe you married for your social security number. Now I heard him speak genuinely about his marriage on the ladies platform or something after my allegations, right? I take that under advisement, as I have always told people. If you change the way your character behaves in my story, I'll change the way my depiction of how your character is depicted in my story, right? Anyway, and I did. Now y'all mad as fuck because I said, listen, he was over there, and I'm going to say it again, protecting property. And for now, I believe the property is the channel itself. Again, all of this stuff could have been eliminated, and she owed me no obligation to do so. See, I'm not running out here telling people you need to do this to satisfy my quench for information. No, I'm going to say this again. When she brought her ass being Nicole's perspective, when she brought her ass to my platform, and I asked her, I said, listen, can you go on cam for me since you and I is just here and none of y'all could see what's going on here because I had the StreamYard behind the scenes. Okay? I want to see who you are, whom I'm speaking to at this moment. This voice, this face, this person. It will help me because I'm going to tell you one of the biggest conflicts I have with Karen is this whole shenanigan thing right here. She refused. She left. But she did give people telling me, who's the people? Who's the people? That's where I come to my conclusions at. Let me get y'all a disclaimer. Most commentary is satire, and the potential theory discussed may explain the day-to-day activities that occur in a virtual community referred to as J4K, the cemetery. Take it or leave it. That's how I feel. Names, characters, places, and incidents are the product of the content creator, Monica Mo Justice. This comes out of my imagination and are used fictitiously. And any resemblance to actual persons, living or deceased events or locations is entirely coincidental. I've said this several times. You people be shouting whatever y'all copyright jargon because y'all be using other people's content. I'm telling you that the things that come out of my mind, from my platform, are developed by me. They're thoughts and theories developed by me based on what I'm seeing. There's nothing far-fetched from that. That's what happens. It's called content creating. You're creating content. What I'm not doing is I'm not doing content that is creating mayhem in people's lives. You could choose to come out and do a simple denial. Yo, did you hear that crazy stuff Monica came up with? You can't make this shit up. But when you got to go into depth trying to explain it, something serious out there. Now, y'all want to keep going back and forth, shoveling snow, whatever. Like I said, it's been 6 years. I've been shoveling snow. It's educational purpose. It could be educational purposes as well. I put the question out there the other day. I asked the question on the community wall. What is your commentary considered? What are your personal observations considered as? Because this is what the lady said to me. She said, don't air your personal observations. So you have to look at what's being said. Monica, don't speak on your personal observations. Are you kidding me? But you guys can speak on lies upon lies about people. You guys can go and do sloppy research on people, make up your own life for those people, and it's okay. Okay. So I don't know what to say to people. I'm a content creator here. What I try not to do is engage in treason on the platform. I try not to violate YouTube's community guidelines. I try to treat people with the same respect that I want to receive in return. Let me talk about Glib because I received a clip. And the reason why I received the clip is because I was put on to the fact that he was on a live with some lady KRP. So she's the lady with the non-existent nail polish at Walmart. Okay. And the reason why, since she want to talk about why you in my business, I'm in your business because Kelly openly told the world that Karen was messing with you because you are a prominent businesswoman with a line of nail polish at Walmart. That's what she said. I went to find out for myself because the story I know about KPR is that she was the first person in this cemetery playing cemetery games and tried to put out images here to bury Karen's family, her husband and her twins. She put up some kind of fake ass funeral up here. So that's what I know her as. I would love to know her as something else. So this prominent businesswoman was going to be it. I go into my local Walmart, one, and I didn't see it. I will be going to other Walmarts in Jersey and PA because those are places I frequent looking for this chain of nail polish that's supposed to be in Walmart. No sightings of it. Employees don't know nothing of it. The videos might be turn out to be pretty funny because I'm asking people in the store, do they know it? Y'all know how that's that bullshit. So I went in there. So KPR, that's the purpose. So you understand what happened. Someone represented you as being a prominent Walmart product endorsed person. I also came out here and gave a public service announcement to folks. If you're going to buy people's products from this internet and you're going to do it outside of the parameters provided by YouTube, meaning that you're going to go off the YouTube app, means you're not going to use super thanks at the end of the video or super chat or join a membership in order to receive this product where your personal information, PI, is protected by YouTube. All I said was buyer beware. When you use the other ways of participating and paying these people, especially the people in the Kanikian sector, use a prepaid card. Period. End of story. Send things to a P.O. box. but do not give your personal information, which is anything you wouldn't want out in the public. That's why it's personal to these people, because they will use your personal information when they are mad at you. I recall listening to Lovely the Great, right? The LTG account explain how she used PayPal. Somebody bought something from her PayPal and paid for it on PayPal, and she used the PayPal to find out who they were later on in life. Good morning, Boogie. Good morning, Myron. And I explicitly explain to you folks that when you give your credit card information or you purchase something, that is the scope of what they're to use that information for. Good morning, Sam. But some of these people save it. You're not even supposed to save this information. Save it in a database to get at you later. It's like when you enter these contests where you have to give your picture or images or whatever, right? You lose your exclusive rights to it if you don't protect your rights in the beginning. If you don't perfect what is the usage and really have language around it, you will be stuck in a situation like LTG did again, right? I'm not saying KPR is going to do this. I'm just saying the potential for it to happen based on what LTG did in the past is a possibility. She said, hey, Joy, everybody, send me your kids' pics. We're going to have a contest. We're using the pics for the contest. She got mad at Joy. What did she do? She used the picture of Joy's daughter to make fun colorism of her daughter. Not to mention that Joy actually has minors up here, but she did try to pick apart my Mia ex. So I take offense to that. That part, and that's just the way it is. Simple. That's what I saw. I hear you about exercising First Amendment rights around here. We all are entitled to say what we believe, say what we think, right? There is an exception into causing riots and stuff like that. So there is an exception to freedom of speech. And that exception is lying. Point blank. The exception to freedom of speech is knowingly and willfully lying on something. So just because you have the right to say whatever you want to say, if you willingly and knowingly, willfully and knowingly lie, that's the exception to freedom of speech. That's where libel and slander is different than libel. Libel is being held responsible for misinformation. Slander is when the misinformation on a person causes them the inability to make money. They have to suffer a damage. Saying to a woman, a man is in your platform, and I'm going to just say this, because he's infatuated with you, and then a man comes up there and attacks me on your platform for me being there, I have to be like that. That's to you, YouTube liars. But you know, like I've been here for so long. Yesterday, I'm gonna go back to Glib. I'm running out of time. So Glib was on KPR's panel, and Glib is explaining. Why'd you go over there, Glib? Furious Fly. It can't be that serious now. It really can't. But let me just say this. So he goes over there. I don't know what the intent was, but he definitely got put on a hot seat. So when I went in there, it didn't seem like much was going on when I went to go watch it. So I went and I was watching it in replay. Well, I backed out of it. So they were still live, but I went back to hear when he first got up there or whatever. So I started to listen to that before the video was taken down. So someone sent me a clip of what happened. So I don't know if I'm seeing everything in its entirety or what have you, but some of it I had seen from what I saw on my own, and then what I saw happen at the end. Um, it's a shame. But Glib, I went back because it's my video. I went back to see the video that we released. And I say we because you and I both stood up there and we spoke that morning. So I released the video to my members the other day for the members to see the video again. I'm going to release it to the public. However, shout out to Mo. There I was sitting in the bathroom. And it went from a bathroom to a pantry because there were a lot of narratives back then. But there I was sitting inside my in the bathroom or the pantry, conducting a live before I met him at IKEA with my subscribers, right? Because that's who I could be conducting a live with, my subscribers, right? And we are planning a new concept. Instead of doing the book club because nobody was reading books with me, right? We decided to switch over to a movie club. So that morning that I met Gleb, I was live for 5 hours talking to my subscribers, right? Or talking, I did a live with people. I went and put up, so in furtherance of Glib being on KPR's thing, speaking, because I'm going to say he misspoke on what we spoke on when we met up, right? So one of the things, and I put a poll out here and be like, what do y'all think that we talked about that day, right? When we was at IKEA. And I said, it's 3 truths and 1 lie. And then I kind of helped y'all with the lie, right? Because I said StreamYards didn't start in 2018. So we weren't talking about OBS and we wasn't talking about StreamYards because we weren't using those platforms. So I will have the video before I got there available for y'all to see. I was on what? What media do you believe I was on when we were doing lives in 2018? What platform were we using? And it wasn't the summer because I was clearly wearing a jacket when I went to this thing. And the video, the pre-video before I meet up with him, right? The pre-video, I'm putting on a heater in the house, in the apartment. And that's one of the reasons why I had to and good thing I went to listen to the video, because when I listened to the video, I was like, oh, these are stories never told out here on the YouTube. That's right. We were in Hangouts. So to sit up there on a platform and tell them what we was talking about OBS or StreamYards when that didn't exist, right? This is how people get caught up in, and I'm not gonna say this is how you get caught up in misinformation. We were using Hangouts, but as soon as I heard it, I was like, that's not correct. That's not accurate. And this is how people break down people, and they break down lies on people. Everything I said in that poll, the 3 topics that were discussed, go ask Glib what we discussed on those 3 topics. What does that sound like that was a conversation about? That sound like that was a conversation about him. I ain't never been divorced. Ask him what he was really doing on the East Coast at that time. I got all the hangouts I was in. I'm sorry. I had to snatch those hangouts when I realized how much a valuable asset hangouts became. I definitely tried to own mine, all of them. But in any event, um, that live and it's so I was listening to that. I was listening to that live. None of and I was saying to myself, "Oh my God, imagine the shit I said back then to just the influencers, right? That Kelly never heard of. But if she heard of the shit now, she would have had a field day. She would have had a field day with it. And I've never heard any of these stories retold. And I was saying to myself, you know why I never heard any of these stories retold? Because she wasn't there in 2018. She wasn't listening to me until we got to COVID. A little bit before COVID is when she started listening to me. When I retold stories after telling these stories. Rose Gold, maybe you'll remember. I remember a live stream. It was late in the nighttime, and I decided, because people was loving on me, black, oh God, Eric Brown, what's the lady's name? Black something. There was some chick in there, Black Diamonds. Good morning, Whoopi. Black Diamonds was all up in here. I love you, Monica, getting on panels with me. And I was like, these people don't love you, Mo. Do not get confused, right? So Black Diamonds was up in there. Anyway, I had people like Black Diamonds. She's something else today. But I explained the story of my son. Okay? And as soon as the video ended, I went back to that portion of the video and I chopped it out. Chirp, boop. Took the whole little piece out, right? Put the video back up there. That was it, right? People were livid in the morning because people heard the story and were trying to regurgitate it and tell it for somebody else. And they was like, she edited her video. She's edited. So from that moment on, they was like, she edits her video. I took it out. I didn't want it there for public consumption. I took what I didn't want there for public consumption. Oh, how I wish I had never said anything, because I think it may have prompted somebody to then go looking for the story, because there was no way to connect it. At that time, there's still no way to connect it. They're still trying to figure out how to make a connection. The closest somebody got right now is this one trying to go into a Facebook and get a picture of me with my son from off of Facebook to try to make a connect to say that is my son. All this time they just been putting out a story, and if I chose to say, yeah, that's my son, because I'm not going to hide from facts. And that's what I had told little Miss Kelly when she was denying her son for the internet. See, there's some things that many of us do out of abundance of caution, but there's some things about people past that they just want to keep in their past. And Kelly spent an enormous amount of time denouncing, rejecting, telling people it was not true, the stories about her son. And I remember saying, you've got to be ahead of it, not behind the scandal. And the minute people see you not willing to be honest, they're going to go after you because of that. That's a fact here, because they didn't find it to be your weak spot. And they definitely want to zero in on your weak spot by any means necessary. They want that spot. That's the sweetest spot on earth, your weak spot. And she had that. So she could say, oh my God, Monica's talking about my son. I'm going to have to say, what did Monica say? I was never with that. I have sons. I would be livid. So, no, I just thought maybe because I had cut the video. But in any event, I would have never denied my own child, no matter how humiliating the situation is. And the reason why is because that's going to be my child forever. When it came out of my vagina, it was mine. I knew it was mine forever. You can never erase that fact. That is my child. I birthed them into this earth. And that's it. I was like, No one ever spoke on Kelly's son here until she would not stop fucking with me. And the essence of speaking on her son was to tell her to go tell her story. So like, go, remember this, go tell it on the mountain. Oh, I will never forget sitting there screaming that out when I was about to share the video that Crenshaw made. And I was sitting up here, go tell it on the mountain. Because I was about to play that video. Anyway, and get rid of the thing that haunted me when I got here. But the same thing with her. So I gave her the same advice I needed for myself. Be ahead of the situation. It's out there. And quiet as it's kept, I heard it wouldn't have been out here if she hadn't told it to John Frank in the first place. But I don't have no evidence of that. That's just what I heard. But and I think I have a video over the hill and everywhere. I think I have a video of when she was over here loving on me telling her that. So I'm definitely listening to old videos. So Glib, I was listening to that video, the preamp to it. And they were asking you questions, Glib, because they already had the answers. She was asked to go, this is what you're missing. They probably saw John Frank's video, and it wasn't more than your favorite YouTuber that was out there. You were telling the people you was on a date. That's why John Frank came in my room to ask me if I was the mistress. That's why the woman was asking you all the questions about being a side hoe, because they were following behind some kind of storyline, the other videos that are out here during that same period of time. Meantime, between time, my dumbass is over on my channel saying, I'm going on a date. Guess what 2 locations cut? All right, so we were trying to link up en route. Glib is wrong again on facts. I lived in Jersey. Period. I started my channel. I lived where? In Jersey. I was New York in tongue, but Jersey in station. Everybody knew that. Period. This time, I was living in Jersey at that time of that video. So him to say I was in New York, why would we meet at IKEA in Elizabeth, New Jersey, if I live in New York? We could have simply met anywhere in the five boroughs as you drove down and through there. So we met at IKEA. Yes, he's correct. That is one of my favorite stores. No, the furniture is not that cheap depending on which ones you look at. The shit I got has lasted me for years. And even if it was KPR, let me just walk you through Monica's life. Once upon a time, I had everything that I could ever really want. Expensive furniture, high end this, high end that. Now I will only pay for a bag. I will buy shit from IKEA. You know why? Because when the shit burnt, it looked like garbage. It didn't have no high end value when it was caught in that fire. It went out like everything else. I was like, I can't see myself at 40 something rebuilding everything I once had. I look around this house now and I can't believe that in a short period of time I filled 3 levels of a home. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But I remember walking away from a fire with just the clothes on my back, my Timberlands, which I still have from the fire, a pair of jeans, and a shirt. That's all I owned. And some damn bag I had just bought that I didn't even like, a Rebecca Minkoff. I think it was a Rebecca Minkoff bag. The morning after. Anyway, that's what happened. That's the story. So when Glib is sitting up there, I'm just like, sometimes the best thing to do when you're retelling a story like that is just stick to the facts. The details will hurt you. And he was trying to deflect. It wasn't a date. It was the two my favorite YouTubers meeting up. Two people that wanted to meet each other because we had something in common. He says to them, I don't want to meet none of you crazy motherfuckers. He's insulting y'all. He's sitting on your platform insulting you. He's playing a game with you. They was playing it back with you. But it sounds like they had something else lined up that you missed you was missing out on it. So I did look back. So it was slated as a date. In the midst of that live, I turned it to a meet and greet. I was like, you know what? And there's a point where you hear me say, it might get misconstrued. So I better, it's a meet and greet. But imagine if I would have played into the dateline. You understand? Because what Glib was trying to tell y'all is that he was setting John Frank up the whole time. But he also was doing what he did best. He was setting me up in it as well. And that's the date thing. Because he was on a date with somebody. Ask him. Now, it might not go well with some of his current relationship because timing might be everything. That's why maybe he had to say it was in the summer when it was October 14th, 2018. And he was on a date with somebody, but it wasn't Mo. And I'm saying to myself, I wonder why people would tell people their personal information. You see how this works, Glib? When you decided to have a whole powwow with John Frank and talk about air mattresses and shit. Sometimes when you break up with a person, your conversations need to break up with y'all too. They just go to the wayside. Your secret is safe with me. I don't really care about telling people life stories around here. But when does it end? And see, for you to have done that as a man, right, was just low. For me calling out your girlfriend's name, fiance's name, I don't know what her status. The last conversation I ever had with you, she was just your girlfriend. Karen was telling me she seen a video where you had announced she was your fiance. I never saw that video, so my last engagement with you would have left her as being a girlfriend. In terms of the phone call about John Frank, that is correct. Glib did reach out to me, and Glib did ask me to stop speaking on John Frank. Now, I just want y'all to really hear this out. I thought that was the most stupidest thing that a person could do that wants to remain neutral in something, is carry a bone. So what I was saying to Glib was, why would you be carrying his water to me, his message to me? You putting yourself right dead in the middle. He's like, oh no, because I don't care. And then, he's doing that, detaching himself. I just was delivering this, and you could just take it as me saying it, and then you don't have to. The fact you brought that to me was an issue for me. It spoke about your relationship to me. Period. Not the message that you was bringing, but the fact that you brought that message in the first place. Let me know it's further, maybe it was confirmation down that line, that you and I need not to be rocking like we was rocking. I had a different thought on you that by doing that you did. And that's what I was speaking on when I was on the phone with you. I was just like, why would you bring that shit to me? What he said. Not to mention that that's a pussy move by John Frank. Right? And it also shows the manipulation that the obvious truth keeps talking about. When people let John Frank use them to do his dirty work. So the manipulation is real. And John Frank was the one talking about me, right? He had several videos out about me. And as true to form, I let them accumulate before I say anything. Just like the situation with Glib happened December 22nd, 2022. I am speaking on this shit in June. You know why? Because I needed to give myself some space so when I speak on it, I'm not giving you emotion. We're 6 months later. I can speak without having no emotion. I don't have to worry about how you hurt people around me based on what you were doing. The whole and then I was like really intrigued. Why would people on the internet care about my current sex life when I'm a side hoe to them in every storyline that they telling? It's the craziest. It's the craziest shit. It's just the craziest shit. It's the craziest stuff. The man was supposed to be, what was it? He worked for Fresh Direct, if you hear John Frank tell the story. So you did a lot of and none of this stuff is true. This was just hyperbole out here, but it gave me enough information that Glib did a lot of talking. And as a man, that's unusual. I don't know if he has any regrets for what he did or how he responded. Maybe not, because, people on here don't give a fuck. I really can't I really can't speak to it. But these people do all kinds of things. Um, and that's about it. Then he wanted me to come out here and be like you were humiliating me. You wasn't humiliating me. I feel like you was showing your true colors as a man. You understand? Because I would think that a man wouldn't do that. And I would think that people would not be interested in, stuff um like that. I'm glad I never shared with anyone on this internet any dude's name other than Chico, because I think you guys would have had a field day looking up these people and assassinating these people's characters. Um, Let me see. I did that. Was there any other topic I thought I was gonna speak on that I didn't speak on? There was something I was gonna say the other day. I should have wrote it down. I spoke to Joy on it, and I was like, "Damn, I forgot to make that point when I was making this point about something." Mm. But that's just the way. That's just the way things. That's just the way things are. Um, I would never want to disrespect any man I'm in a relationship with, to the degrees that I've seen people get disrespected on here. Any man that you choose to have a personal relationship with represents you at the end of the day. Right? This is what you chose to get yourself into. This is who you chose to be with. This is all of you. So anything you say negative about him is in fact a reflection of me. And I listened to some things that came out back then, and I was just like, oh wow, where would this stuff come from? And that's about it. And I did, basic things. New Yorkers don't have cars. The average New Yorker doesn't own a car because they use public transportation to get around. People that live in the boroughs of Queens, people that lived in the boroughs of Queens and mostly if you see somebody with a car in Brooklyn, they either need it for work or they are a taxi. The Bronx, I'm not really familiar with the Bronx. It's not something that I easily hang out with, but most Spanish people that I know of that come from the Bronx do have cars. Um, at least the men do, not the women. The men do. But usually they be trying to get to somebody's work. Good morning to People's Lounge. Um, who else is the other people? So that was not unusual that I would have a man without a car. I mean, John Frank is here. He don't even have a home. So like, he don't even have his own apartment. He didn't take his woman and child, or his child. Forget the woman right now. He's not even providing for his own family. Period. End of story. So forget a car. So to make fun of to make a thing about a guy not having a car, I was just like, must not know about must not know much about New York City, and not know that most people in New York City do not have a car. I'm an anomaly with a car. And But my girlfriends, they're like, we all got cars, but we're queens. Queens has cars. I listened to Kelly and the car stuff with Cheek. I damaged his car learning how to drive. I didn't know how to drive. He taught me how to drive. I damaged his car. We had a one car family. I moved out, then got a car. Like, do y'all not remember me sitting in my car, almost sleeping in my car overnight? Because what? I couldn't find parking. It, yeah, there was a lot of damage during Sandy with people in their cars too. Um, I was thinking about something because I know what story she's talking about when they talk about the car situation. I know exactly what story it is because I went and bought my own car. I went and bought my own car because he upgraded a car that we had. So let's just be clear. If I put the money out to buy a car, I call it my car. Okay? I damaged my car. He went and traded that shit in for a Charger. I asked T if that's the car he had. He had a Charger. That's no longer my car. That was his car when he upgraded and got it because he got the car he wanted. So let's go through cars, right? Since people was all in people business. He had some little two-door shit, right? That I went with him to the dealership that he bought or whatever, and he was happy about it. It was a Mazda. He had some dual two-door shit, right? So you had to put a car seat in the back and taking the kids to school and shit. What ended up happening? Taking the kids to school and daycare. Who kids do you think he was taking to school and daycare? That part. So he had to upgrade that car because we couldn't keep fitting in the two-door car when you got little kids. And I think a snowstorm came. It's the snow in New York will change everything. And we switched up and I got the Sable. And then one school year, the kids will tell you this, I was driving down the block and I got attached. The back of the Sable got attached. I was driving to, it's one of those streets in Queens. If you don't know, there are some streets you got to do a dip. So it's a two-way street, but only one car can go through at a time. So I always err on the side of doing the dip. So I dipped too close to one of those cars, old cars with the chrome on the outside that has the hook thing like hanging out. So it attached to the bumper, and the bumper of the car got messed up. And I tell this story. It was back to school season. I had just finished going shopping with the kids, and I had all three kids inside the car, my two and his one. And I pulled up to his job to pick him up with the bumper hanging off. The bumper was hanging off the car. Blah, 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 blah. And he could hear me coming down the block. And I got out the driver's seat and went and sat in the passenger seat. And I told y'all I peed on myself, telling him the story of what happened. So that's all contained in the story. And then he went out and upgraded the car to the other to the Charger. And then when he got really sick, I got really tired of having to be back and forth with this car and sharing it between kids that now had driver's license. And I went and got my own car. My own car. Just think. And he came out of the rehab to look at. Well, I had to park the car on the side of the thing so he could see the car. and we exchanged some pleasantries about me moving on up and having my own thing. So that's the abridged version of whatever she's out here telling you as a story. But again, it's my story for me to tell. She's retelling it because she's in my business. Period. End of story. But will be upset if I retell something about her life to folks here. How does that even work? And I listen to all of these people having this field day with, oh, she's a, I think it's Bam's excitement that just has me like, what is so exciting about this shit? Like, I'm not even moved by the information. One, I had to give some math the other day. I was like, listen, it's been now 14 years since Chico passed away. It's also been 12 years of me being in a relationship with him. That's 26 years. I'm gonna need you to have many seats. that's all. Like that's the point. I'm gonna need y'all to have many seats because you're talking about something that is no longer relevant to this day. I think the reason why the stories were so fresh to me when I first came here to the YouTube is because I was also coming off of being hit by a car and having to deal with the fact I was going to have memory issues. So I think I brought out a lot of stories about myself because I was coping with making sure I remember, contradicting every negative that was put towards me. So, no excuses, but I did suffer a brain injury. And that's all I'm going to say with them, like, cutting up stuff when I speak and I lose my train of thought and stuff like that. That all has to do with not being able to transfer short-term stuff into long-term memory and processing long-term memory. So part of me being on this platform was me telling my truth because I was memorializing my life. Period. End of story. It wasn't done as no walk through somebody's anything. See, people, I don't ever hear them really speak on or harp on that car injury. But everybody knows up until we got to COVID, all I ever used to talk about was me being in that horrible car injury. And where's my brother from another mother? He was like, girl, if you tell me one more time about that car, it's like if you say, well, I can't remember. So when you see, and it's so weird because when I'm listening, especially when I listen to what she said on the Nicole's Perspective panel, is the first time I really understood what she was putting out here about me. Because I wasn't checking for the storylines. I know I came up, you are so right. Like, I remember when I was speaking in half sentences here. Like, it was hard to follow along stuff I was saying. It was because of that. So this woman coming out here and telling people these stories and stuff, you wasn't here in season 1. You don't really know me. That's why I'm not going to sit up here and keep arguing with folks about some stuff that somebody that doesn't know wants to pretend like they do know something. So every false narrative they have out there about me, I'm just going to let it, I got no other choice but to let it ride because I'm not going to lose my peace trying to hope that people don't take me apart and leave me in pieces. I am too strong, too bold, and too mo for that. Okay? Like, it's just not going to happen. So I gave it a lot of thought and I was like, yo, this is because people don't know. They really don't know. That's why even, there's a part of me when it comes down to Nikkei and the audio, when she tells people, I recorded Monica because I didn't understand what she was saying. And I listened to Huggy say the video was chopped up. It was cut and whatever, whatever. And I say to everybody, I need to hear it for myself. And then I can tell y'all what it's about. But still to this day, nobody wants to release that to me. Because I don't know if it was a vow. I know why I can't get it from Huggy. Because I think he feels like it'll come back to haunt him. I know why Nikkei doesn't want to release it to me, because she don't want to revisit this shit. She wants it to be dead already. It's been 6 years later. Nobody wants to hear it, but I've always wanted to hear it, because I always wanted to hear what it was. Sometimes when I go back in videos and I listen, like I just listened to that video, the pre meet up with Glib, and I was like, damn, like, oh, ooh, painstakingly. That switched up in tone was crazy. Laugh out loud on the Coast panel. I ran fast, so fake. Oh. I missed some things. I need to. Are you talking about Bam's thing? Bam was like, "Oh, Monica, oh, and then I was like, "Yo, but did y'all hear me when I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut, like zipping my mouth. Ooh, am I missing something? I haven't watched Nicole's videos though recently, so I don't. I haven't watched since I was on her platform that day. I just was like, I think I haven't watched since I was on that platform in the day. If you don't know what RIBS is, it's rest in bitch shit. So when I change it, I just wanted people to really understand what RIBS is here. It's rest in bitch shit. Cause this is the stuff that be going on the internet. It be bitch shit. And I be wanting to dub things my own stuff, and know that I came up with it. Yeah, and Bam, I ain't finished with you. Cause I'm going through my archives, and I got the video of you coming up here and telling me that the world was going after you and the funeral for your mama. Cause see, people be trying to act like this stuff didn't happen. Like somebody's making this stuff up. These people had a funeral for her deceased mother in 2020. In the middle of COVID, while people were losing loved ones, they were playing with these kind of themes of funerals. But I'm gonna go and skedaddle. Somebody sent me. I remember your car accident. That is right. Oh, that is so right. That is true. That is true. That is true. Zipping my mouth about the recording from back in season 1 and 2. Oh yeah, yeah. I wanna. Yeah, yeah. That's not. I don't wanna. I wanna hear it to hear it. I want to hear it. I want. There's only two things I want to hear Crenshaw's video, and I want to hear the actual audio. Then I can tell. I wouldn't even want to come out here and tell the public what it was, but it would definitely bring me closure on it. But in terms of all of the peoples associated with it and stuff, I don't have no issues with nobody. Like I said, every person that I had an affiliation with before I became this channel, before I went live on this channel that I had a beef with, has been resolved. Period. I don't have no issues with anybody. Not even Crenshaw. Not that we've had a settlement agreement, but just that it ain't relevant to me anymore. What she did ain't relevant to me. So it's nothing left there. The relationships that she tried to taint in the process have been cured, so to speak, in my whatever so let me just explain cured. Whatever damage she caused to those relationships that I either never got a chance to build or stop building on has now been cured, and I can have a wholesome conversation, a wholesome relationship, a meaningful dialogue that I was unable to have with her being there. There is still the issue with Miss Ryder died because, when my mother passed away, Nicola told me, hey, Miss Rod wants to speak to you. It sounded child. Girl, I'm going to have to call you. I'm gonna have to get a three-way going. She gonna spin the block again through these streets, and she'll be forgiven. Oh yeah, listen, it is what it is. Um, all of these people with habits, people addicted to stuff, right? And this goes for anybody addicted to any kind of narcotic, be it prescription or illegal. People tend to be forgiving of those people. I don't know why. It's an unforeseen drug of choice that people seem to forgive, or they forgive the people that are in the white category, either being mixed with white folks or whatever. Maybe we're not so forgiving of black people because the scrutiny they put Myron under for being rehabilitated or seeking rehabilitation, or I don't get it. Really, I don't get it. And like I said, and I'll continue to say, if you want to kick a man while he's trying to stand up, you're weak. That was the premise for the Rodney King beating that bothered the hell out of me, was watching them just beat him as he was trying to just stand up or trying to just get up or get his weight or whatever. I think that's what stood out in the George Floyd situation, was just leaning on him and not even allowing the man to breathe, right? That's how I feel when I see the situation with Myron. Myron is his own person, right? Win or lose on Myron, right? But at the end of the day, Myron's up here on cam, not hiding behind an avatar, and giving you his life from his lens. The weird thing about stuff up here, the people that are the viewers, you act like you don't have any power in this. When you've got the most power, you want me to tell you what it is? Don't watch him. Don't watch anybody that you feel is so repugnant. Why are you watching him? Because you know he's personable, and you're hoping he falls backwards so you can have something to speak on. So you're rooting against him, and because you're rooting against him, you're watching him. This is like a sport or activity for people these days. Watching people to see how bad it's going to turn out for them later on. Can't believe the people I've come in contact with on this internet. Can't believe it. But at the end of the day, they're going to prove you wrong. Every moment that every opportunity he has to get past a stepping stone, each little step he takes is one less step for you. You know why? Because you're sitting here watching him, hoping for his demise. While meantime, between time, you're miserable and can't get ahead at all. You're angry watching the content creators get ahead. I started out on this channel. I was in a little apartment with one bedroom apartment with my daughter. I actually have many things that I went through on this internet that I know that people wasn't here for season 1, that they don't even know about because they wasn't here. They only know about the stuff they talk about. But I seen me go through some stuff and go through some places to be where I'm at today. People are mad about that. What I'm going to say is this. As long as you never give up on yourself, I don't care how many people around you stop counting on you, stop believing in you. Don't you stop believing in you. Period. The only voice in your head that matters is yours. It's nice to get validation. Again, nice to get validation. But you are your own worst or best enemy. And that means it means just what it is. You your own worst enemy or you your own best enemy. Sometimes you could do some things that will make your shit worse. And that makes you the best enemy that a person can have. Or you can look at your situation and start to build up from it because you self-reflected. I have no downward thoughts on the people around here. No one, even the people that transgress against me, I really don't have anything bad to say about them. Like a Kelly, I don't have anything bad to say about her because I feel her misery every time I hear her talking about me. I just say to myself, imagine loving on somebody so much that you can't get over them. I listened to somebody last night was like, and she said you won't stop talking about her. Girl, bye. I ain't even been thinking about you. You was on a platform a couple of days ago talking about me. If anybody can really chronological order something, you will hear me say, I heard her on Nicole's Perspective. Let me get y'all the date. Because you know I take notes. Let me get y'all a date on that. And then I'm going to get out of here. I heard her on Nicole's Perspective talking about me. Why was she over there talking about me? June 4th. She was over there in the wee hours of the morning talking about me. Check my videos from June 4th. I ain't said nothing. Check my videos June 3rd, June 2nd. See what you see me talking about her that would prompt her to go up here and be talking about me. It be the lies for me. Anyway. I wonder what that was about. Anyway, today's broadcast is brought to you by the M and the O. Mo. I'll see you guys later in the week.